So if we do say something important today, you guys will be able to retrieve it. So hopefully that'll work out for us, and we will say something important at some point during this Zoom session today. All right, guys, let's get it cranking. Love starting out each day. My name is Chris Cook. For those of you fine folks out there that don't know who I am, there's got a lot of new people on the call each and every week. I'm Chris Cook. I've been direct to Symmetry Financial Group and been part of Symmetry for the past 7 years. Been blessed to be so, and the opportunity that it provides for me and my family. So, all right, what we love to start out on each call is bragging on the folks that went out and just killed it this past week. Had a really good week coming out of conference. A lot of people fired up, a lot of people taking action, and a lot of people getting results. And certainly this is proof positive of that. So let's get into app count leaderboards this past week. Recognizing everybody wrote 5 or more applications here this past week in our group. Bobby Gildersleeve, way to go. Way to go, Bobby. Went out there, Bobby Gildersleeve went out there and killed it this past week. Another 5 applications. Way to go, Bobby. Way to be on the board when I think it's your first full-time week out here. So not too shabby at all, my friend. Mr. Val Zarn with 5 applications this past week. Way to go, buddy. We also had Mr. Scott Emmer, 5 applications this past week. Way to go, Scott. Coming in, let's see, next on our leaderboards for that right there. There we go. We've got Mr. Dominic Austin, 7 applications this past week. Dominic, it's been on fire. I don't know if you guys have noticed the last couple of weeks. Mr. Dominic Austin's been in fuego. Way to go, buddy. Coming in also with 7 applications this past week. Going to be doing book of the month here in just a minute with me. Jeffrey Miller, 7 applications. Way to go, buddy. Number 3 spot on our applications for the week, getting into our top 3. Jordan Gillum, 7 applications as well. A lot of you new people will be like, now how does Jordan beat him? She had the same number of apps. Her APV, her annual premium volume, is higher. So we always rank those people that rank higher in that category a little bit higher on that level. So way to go, Jordan Gillum. Way to lead your team by example, buddy. Strong business this past week. Way to go, Jordan. Number 3 on our leaderboards. Coming in the number 2 spot, Mr. DJ Robinson out in Manhattan Beach, California. Way to go, DJ Robinson. Can only be one number 1. Anybody want to guess who number 1 is? I know Val Zarn does not have to guess who number 1 is because it's on his team, and it's Mr. Rocco Pearson. Rocco Pearson traveled all the way, I believe, from the West Coast to come out to Orlando, Florida this past week. And hey, he went out there, took notes, and went back home, and I could tell he was on fire. Young man wrote 12 applications this past week. Way to go, Rocco Pearson. Way to go, buddy. So very proud of you. And that's awesome, man. That's a way to put fuel to the fire. 12 applications this past week, Rocco Pearson. And congratulations to you, Val Zarn. You may have you a running buddy there, buddy. It's nice when you have a running buddy. Things get fun at that point. So good job there. All right, let's represent. We're going to anybody that wrote over, we'll say 3,900 this past week. We'll call out those names. Brian Hamby, 3,948. Paul Sharp, 4,280. Bobby Gildersleeve, 4,711. Val Zarn, 4,815. Troy Stevens, 4,907. Getting into the 5,000 club, Dominic Austin, 5,001. Rocco Pearson, 5,040. Get into our top 5 in leaderboards right now. We got Scott Emmer at 5,319. Number 4 spot, Jeffrey Miller, 6,164. Number 3 spot, Jordan Gillum, 6,848. Number 2 spot, Elijah Carujo, 6,977. And there can only be one number 1. Let's take a guess if anybody wants to. It's Mr. DJ Robinson, $13,814 in premium, taking nothing but bonus leads, working his tail off, setting the example for his upcoming organization. Welcome. We have a lot of DJ Robinson's team on the call here today. So way to go, DJ Robinson, $13,814 in premium bonus leads, folks, going out there and making it happen. So that is not too shabby at all, my friend. Also, welcome brand new writer, Philip think that's Phil actually, but on this leaderboard right here, it's Philip Mooring. Way to go, Phil. I think that's the one, Elijah, I met down there. That's Phil, right? For short. Yeah. So Phil Mooring, part of the Elijah Carujo organization, 1,380 is a brand new rider. Welcome aboard, Phil. I know you went down there to Orlando. It was a pleasure meeting you, buddy, and expecting great things from you, man. I know Elijah is expecting great things from you as well. So good stuff, man. All right, looking at our groups for the week. Let's look at this. We'll do the top 5 organizations this past week. Coming into number 5 spot, Val Zarn and his crew, 10,124. Coming in at the number 4 spot, Jeffrey Miller and his crew, 11,071. The number 3 spot, we had Elijah Carujo and his organization at 17,681. Number 2 spot, Mr. Mark Newbauer, part-time movie producer, getting it done lately, buddy. 19,137. He can produce agents, is what he can do too, beyond movies. So way to go, man. 19,137. I love it, Mark. You guys are always around that 20,000 plus a week mark. And you leaders out there, step up your game, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for more of you being around that $20,000 to $30,000 a week mark, because you got organizations, and organizations want to be writing $15, $20, $25, $30,000 a week in business. So good stuff there. Number 1 spot, Tina's team. I'm telling you, Tina's team taking it off again. 24,371 in premium. No joke. They're already over 400,000 for the year. Just in that organization. Not too shabby at all, my friends. Way to go. Tina's team and the Base Shop Warriors. You guys just flat out getting it done lately. So I think that's all on that part of that right there. Love talking about this. These are people that are going out and doing 10 or more interviews in a week. This is huge. Jared Gillum, Barry Davis, Brian Hamby, all going out and doing 10 or more interviews in a week. Way to go, everybody that's on there. If you're saying, hey, I did more than 10 interviews in a week and you didn't call out my name, well, guess what? The person that's supposed to give us your information did not give us your information. So we're not calling out your name because they didn't give it to us. And so we couldn't call out your name because they didn't. So get with them, make sure they did it, because I know a lot of you were probably showing had a lot of interviews this past week, because we set an all-time record for brand new contracted people in a week in our organization. So kudos to everybody. It shows you the power of a conference. Check this out. Jimmy Wilson, Anjay, I'm going to give you, I'm not going to call you Andy. I'm going to call you Anjay on this one, buddy, because you went out and made it happen. You had a brand new recruit this past week. We got Michael Grafe, Jason Marino, Dustin Hensley, all had 1 apiece. We had Jared Gillum, Jeffrey Miller, Scott Emmer, all with 2 apiece. We had Barry Davis with 3 coming into the number 2 spot. Way to go, Barry Davis. And the number 1 spot, my partner in crime here at the office, went out and recruited his tail off this past week, Mr. Brian Hamby, with 4 brand new recruits this past week. Way to go, Brian Hamby. That's 18 new contracted people here within our organization just this week alone. So we're reaching the mark where we're doing about 20. I predict we will, I think in our organization alone, we'll add 100 new people this month. So 100 new people will join our organization this month. We're on pace to do it. So if you want to build an organization, it starts there, folks. It starts there with interviews, and it translates into recruits, and you turn them into new writers. So way to go, team. That is some super, super impressive numbers and a solid week. We're on pace to have an all-time record month right now in production. So way to go, guys. Everybody's participating in that. So let me look for my partner in crime. Let me go a couple of news and notes here, and then I'm going to introduce Book of the Month. Book of the month, obviously, for you guys, we've got Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I encourage each and every one of you. SFG's word of the year is invest. I know you got it, Bobby. I saw you put TFAR, thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, and actions lead to results. See, talking to my heartstring there, lady. Saw you post that on your Facebook page the other day. I said, somebody is reading the book of the month. And it teaches you how to invest. It teaches you how to do this business and do it correctly and get your mind right about it. New agent call coming up tomorrow. Would you like to, do any of you, quick question, think you could learn from an agent that just started with us back in July and is now regularly writing between 30 and 40 $5,000 a month in premium. Any of you think you could learn from an agent, and that same agent's going to go to a 95% contract, will have received a 25% contract just in the last 9 months? Anybody can learn from an agent like that? Well, that agent's Jeffrey Miller, and he's going to be hosting the new agent call tomorrow. So I'd get on there, plug in if you're a brand new agent, take notes. He's writing 30 to 40,000 a month on his own pen, and his team is regularly doing 50 to 60,000 a month right now. So Jeffrey Miller on that call tomorrow. 12 o'clock call today. We've got our team represented very well. We've got Jordan Gillum and Elijah Carujo on there with Get What You Want with 3 simple steps. So 12 o'clock Symmetry Financial call hosted by our 2 agency owners today at 12 noon. Plug into that right there. You'll see some familiar faces, and I'm sure they'll do a great job for you guys. So plug into that. Great sales training call coming up in just a little bit. So I think that's all I want to cover on that part. Mr. Jeffrey Miller, I'm going to go over to you, buddy.
There we go.
Yeah. Buddy. So I remember we were having lunch. It was crazy, and I didn't realize it was going to work out this way because I didn't think we were going to do Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. But I had lunch with you and Kimberly after conference the next day when we were over in Universal Studios. And I remember talking to you, and I was like, man, I don't know if anybody else is going to read this book, but I was like, this is the most influential book ever in my career here at Symmetry as far as my business world. And you was like, I remember you taking notes on it. You wrote it down, and it's worked out where you're the first guy to represent Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, man. So I'm glad to have you on here doing it, buddy.
Yeah, it's a great book. I purchased it that day on audiobook, and I have the book at home as well, the hard copy. So do a little bit of reading, a lot of listening to it. It's the listening's nice because when my wife and I walk each day together, we each put a earpiece in and we listen to the book. So it's she's right in there along with me. So it's pretty cool.
I love it. I love it, man. Well, break it down for us, buddy. Tell us what you're getting out of it and how you think it can help the agents.
There's a lot of information in this book. It's really packed. It's kind of exciting because it really talks about mastering the inner mind with wealth. You see so many people out there making lots of money. I know growing up, I knew, I want to say friends of the family, people that I knew in the family that had made a lot of money and lost it and came back up and then made a lot of money again. And I'm like, how do they do that? You know, first of all, to become a millionaire once, but to lose it all and then to go ahead and come back and redo that again. There's got to be something in there. You don't get lucky that many times, right? Creating wealth in this. So anyway, great book. I'm glad that I got a little bit of a head start on that. I appreciate that, Chris. But I'll kind of start the outline. I have a lot of notes. It's a lot of information, so I'm going to go kind of quick through it. But you know, one of the main things that I'll start with is when it's about your mind is really it talks about reading the books. You know, when Symmetry does this, they have a book of the month, but it's really not just reading books, but it's reading the right books. I think, you know, we read every day with Symmetry, and they give us these books to read, and they're really about helping us to have a millionaire mindset so we can create wealth for our family and a future for our family. Because if you don't have the right mindset, it's going to be pretty difficult to create wealth in this. So let me start with the first thing here. There's 2 laws of money that it talks about. It talks about the outer laws, and the inner laws. And the outer laws are really like your business knowledge, your money management, your investment strategies, things like that. But the inner law is really your mindset, the way you think about money, the way you're brought up. A lot of it goes back to when we were kids growing up and what we were taught from our parents. When you're, you know, things like, you know, rich people are not good people, or, you know, only the lucky get rich, things like that, that when you grow up, those things stick in your mind. And if you keep that in your mindset, you got to change that. We have to be able to change that and purposely change our mindset of what we think about. You know, it has an example, talks about a carpenter having the best tools available out there, right? The best saws and drills and whatever it is, a carpenter. But if you don't have the skills, that master craft, your mindset to be a good carpenter, you can have all the best tools in the world and you can build a house that's not very that may fall down, right? So you have to have not just the right tools, but that mindset to go along with it. And I thought that was really good stuff. So who you are, how do you think, what are your habits, your traits, your beliefs is so core to what he was talking about. And one of the cool things I thought he said is the keys to success is to raise your energy. And when you raise your energy, people will naturally follow you. If you're energetic and excited about this business, people are going to follow you. Because you're excited about it. If you're like, hey, I'm in this business and, there's some people making some money, you're probably not going to have a lot of people follow. But if you believe that you can be one of those 120s with Symmetry and create a lifestyle for your family, people will follow you. Let me see here. Your income can only grow to what your mind believes it can grow to. It talks about, again, people's minds. They talked about Donald Trump. And I thought Donald Trump was a billionaire and lost everything, a billionaire, and then became a billionaire again. I mean, that's huge. If you think of that. And he was talking about Donald Trump. Do you think he would be excited about being a millionaire? Probably not. He would probably be pretty depressed being a millionaire. So again, it all goes back to that mindset. And I just thought that was so crucial. And he talks about that, it's not money that's great, it's what you do with the money. So, you need to keep that focus there. Let me see here. He talked about the TFA equals R, and Chris just mentioned that a minute ago. Thoughts lead to feelings, feeling lead to actions, and action leads to results. That is so true in this business. You've got to have action to get the results in this business. But before that, you have to have the thoughts that you can actually make those dials and set the appointments. And then you have to have, oh, wait, now that I've set the appointments, I have to believe that I can actually run the appointment and help somebody with a life policy, right? I know a lot of us get stuck in the beginning. You're afraid to dial because not that you're afraid to dial, but you're afraid of that next step of the appointment, right? You're afraid of, oh, now what if I get an appointment? Now what am I going to do? So that's a fear you have to overcome. You have to have that mindset that, look, we're helping people. We can do this. And if you have the right mindset that you're just helping people, then you can make those dials and then set the appointment. And then when you set the appointments and run the appointments, the rest will come with that. I've been dialing for, actually for longer than this, even in my prior career. And still, every time I start to dial, I get that little bit of nervousness, and then I start dialing, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, I can do this. I can do this. And I normally do. So that's a good thing there. Let me see here. Let me just go back to some of my notes here. It does talk about investing in your business. That's crucial. That's part of your mindset. You have to have that mindset to invest, because when we're buying leads, we're not buying leads. We're investing in our income. We're investing in our future. We're investing in helping other people. And let me see here. Oh, these are sayings that block us from a millionaire mindset. The root of evil is money. Rich people are greedy. Money doesn't buy happiness. I don't know about you guys, but I've been broke, and it's better to have money than to be broke. I have to say, money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are criminals. Even growing up as kids, I remember, you want something, and I know your parents and my parents, my mom especially, say, hey, money doesn't grow on trees, right? And so we have that mentality that, oh, I can't have enough money to do the things I want to do in life. So I love the conference that one of the Millers, it wasn't Ryan Miller, but one of his brothers said that with Symmetry is he's got the right mindset. He wants to create enough income that he can live on 10% of his income and give away 90%. And that's the mindset that I want to have, because there's a lot of good that comes out of that 90% he gives away. And again, he wants to live very well on that 10%. Let me see here. I guess that there's a lot of information here. The only thing I can suggest is you guys got to read this book. It's if not the best book, one of the best books for, I think, creating that mindset that you need when things are tough, that you know that I'm not going to try to be successful. I am successful. I will be successful. I'm doing the things that it takes to become successful with Symmetry and in life in general. If you try, you probably won't make it. So you have to be, as we said at conference, all in. So anyway, I love this book, just getting started with it, but man, so much good stuff. And as it goes through, he does start to give you little things to help your mindset change. And I think that's the whole purpose behind this book, is we need to change your mindset to have that mindset of a millionaire. Back to you, Chris.
I love it, buddy. And stay unmuted, because I'll probably use you to comment between here and the end of the call. But, just, going back to the mindset, because it's so important, how you think about money is so key. How you think about money. It's like everybody here has the same opportunity every week, Yet, have y'all noticed it's the same people that tend to be on top of our leaderboards every week? Remember, the opportunity is exactly the same for all of us, and we all start back over at zero every week. And yet the same people tend to gravitate. And really what it shows you, it's manifesting itself in thought. It's like, it's the people that think they can do it. It's the people that then take the action on doing it, and then it manifests itself to a reality, right? So it's so key in how you even think about money, because I know a lot of people, there was a part of my childhood where I was, my father, we had money. There was a part of my childhood after he passed away, we were very poor. So I lived in both quadrants, a very poor quadrant and at a time an abundance quadrant. And my dad taught me tendencies that cherished good things around money and how to think about it correctly, not materialistic or anything like that. And yet when I was brokest, the people in living in trailer park, we're on food stamps, things like that. It was funny how everybody around me talked so negatively about money, and they never attracted any to them because they did. And they would talk about money like it was evil, or it was the root of all evil. And guess what? They never had any. You with me? They were broke and they blamed other people for their life. And yet the people that had it didn't blame other people their life. They took ownership for their own life. And, a lot of this book is what it's teaching you, a lot of those basic principles. And so if you hear somebody mention money in a presentation or something like that, and you revert to well, I can't believe they just talk about money. Remember, that's you bringing up your own negative association with money and how it works. Because I believe money, and you guys have always heard me talk about money that an agent makes, because I'm so proud of that. Because I refer to money an agent makes as impact that they make in someone's life. Because we don't make money here without making an impact in someone's life. That's how we make money. And so if a person's here not making money, they're not making any impact. Period. You with me? And so my association with money is people are saving people, just like my father and me as a kid. They're saving those people from losing their homes and their livelihood. That's the way I think about it. So it was always easy for me to go out there and then help people, because my mind right was about it. So I challenge you, if you ever get on a call and you're like, well, they talk about money, then you're sabotaging your own success when you're doing that. And you've got to recognize that. That's something you just got to be like, no, pattern interrupt. I need to read 10 pages of this book. You need to pick up the book and you start reading it, and you can take some notes, because it's your own self-sabotage that's clicking in when that happens. And you really got to challenge yourself to think differently. And Jeffrey, any of this resonates with you, or any of it, you feel free to jump in. I want to read a little parable to you that I really like, but I think it spoke to me way back in the day, but it's in this book. It talks about, speaking of trust. It reminds me of one of my favorite stories. It's about a man who is walking along a cliff and all of a sudden loses his balance, slips and falls off. Fortunately, he has the presence of mind to grab onto the ledge, and he's hanging on there for dear life. This guy's hanging on the edge for dear life. He hangs and hangs and finally yells out, "Is there anybody out there who can help me? Anybody?" Because this is like what it's like mentoring people, and some of you people can agree, and some of you don't realize it's you. Is there anybody out there who can help me? There's no answer. He keeps calling and calling. Is there anybody out there, anybody up there who can help me? Finally, this big bellowing voice calls back. Oh, I'm trying to get God's voice, but I don't know what God sounds like. So this is God. I can help you. Just let go and trust. The next thing you hear, is there anybody else up there who can help me? Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, when you teach somebody some basic principles of this business, it's the same thing. It's like the lesson is simple. If you want to move to a higher level of life, you have to be willing to let go of some of your old ways of thinking. Your old ways of thinking, and being able to adopt new ones. The results will eventually speak for themselves. When I first read this book, the highest income I'd made in a year was $42,000. There's some months that I make well north of that. And it's because I ended up choosing to think differently about money and how it works and how I thought about it. You with me, guys? And it's the same thing as like, some people are like, well, Chris just tells me the same thing over and over. And it's like, yeah, because you still don't get it. If you got it, I wouldn't have to tell you the same thing again. And that refers, and here, let me teach y'all, because some of y'all ignore the truth. Because what is it we talk about in a coaching session? What? Average players, they want to be left alone. Average players, they don't want to weekly huddle up with a mentor. Average players don't. They want to be left alone. Good players, they want to be coached. Great players want the truth. And I'm going to smack you in the face with the truth right now. So only the great players will respond to this. The rest of you, you're going to do what you're going to do. Here's the truth. We gave it to you at conference. It was the last assignment of the conference. And that was filling 2 boxes. And these boxes are an absolute truth. It's an absolute truth in this business because nobody's ever failed doing it. So the absolute truth is, if you want to be successful here and you say you are full-time, then you need to run in one box, the left box, 15 plus Zoom session appointments a week. There's 2 agents that I know of currently that does it. Anybody wonder what their names are? Hey, I know some of y'all are probably thinking, there's only 2 agents that I currently know that realize and do that truth consistently. Jeffrey Miller, DJ Robinson. And I'm talking consistently. I'm not talking one time and then, you know, you went on a hiatus for 3 weeks. I'm talking week in and week out, they hit 15 plus appointments a week. I'm not saying you have to be there. I'm just saying that is a truth in this business to create great profit. And that's a truth that gets you going north in this business and really helps you and your family. It was the truth that got me out of making $42,000 a year to make over $42,000 a month. And it was a truth that I had to realize. It was a truth. It is a truth in our business. If you're wanting to make this a great endeavor for you and your family, the thing that Symmetry teaches you is that truth, that it takes 15 plus appointments, either face-to-face or Zoom session appointments a week to do that. Jeffrey, how many are you averaging a week right now?
I usually book about 20 appointments, usually sit with about 15 a week.
Yep.
Sometimes a good week I'll book 25, but.
Right. Results, $30,000 to $40,000 a week plus in production. And I love that, buddy. And it's also going to pay off because you're getting ready to go to a 95% contract at the end of this month, right, buddy?
Yep. Yeah, it's exciting to see.
Not too shabby at all. And don't get mad at me for giving you the truth. Remember, it's just the truth. You with me? Like some people are like, oh, I can't believe you said that. Well, I just care enough to tell you the truth, not dance around the topic. You know what I mean? Look at it as somebody cares about you enough to tell you the truth. Don't look at it as somebody's being a jerk to you. Look at it as somebody cares about you. That's the proper way of thinking of mentorship. You with me? So, yeah. Anyway, anything you want to add to any of that, Jeffrey?
No, well, you're talking about telling the truth, and people work on jobs. And do you think their boss tells them the truth so that they can pass their boss up in that promotion and stuff? They don't. But in this business, you actually give the truth, and I think that's so cool because the more people in this business you help become successful, the more successful you become. And that's not just for you, but for all of us. And that's the beauty of this business, is really about helping people and
Yeah, it's
helping.
all about helping people. And the good part is it's helping people, either helping people with getting life insurance and protecting their home and their legacy for their family, or helping people, like yourself, Joe Martinez, Mark Newbauer, getting you guys to another level. So obviously you create a legacy for your own families, right? And
Right.
so that's the blessing of that. So I'm going to leave you guys with a few nuggets here, because a lot of you guys are building a business here. And I was just thinking last night, what's a couple little nuggets that I could leave the team with? One of them, here's the nugget. It's fill your 2 boxes if you want to make a difference in this business. Your left box is 15 Zoom session plus appointments a week that they show up and you actually run the appointment. If you want to create something that's going north for you, that I would encourage. The other one is, if you're looking to build a business with us, we encourage at least 10 plus interviews a week, either warm market or cold, where you're interviewing people with positions with this company. If you will, it'll be such a huge blessing to you, because it'll create a business and you'll help a lot of people. So obviously that's an easy nugget, something we went over. I just want to consistently give that message, because I've never seen in my 7 years working here anybody do that and fail. Just throwing it out there. I've never seen anybody fail. But here's the nuggets I want to give you. So get your pen and notepad ready. And this is about you people out there building a business, getting a new agent started. Just some nuggets here. When I'm interviewing a person, and this is a nugget, if you want to get people started, if you want to get people just hired, you can hire everybody in the world. But if you want to actually get people started, these are the nuggets that I would give you. When you put a person in licensing, say I'm interviewing Jordan Gillum, I say, Jordan, okay, I asked her a question. Well, how quick would you like to make your money? As quick as possible. Okay, Jordan, here's my assignment to you. Get good at relaying this message to the people you care about that you're putting in this business, warm market or cold. Okay. Any reason you can't get that license done in the next 7 to 10 days? It only took me 6 days start to finish while working a full-time job, 50 hours a week. Is there any reason it would take you longer? And I ask her a question, and then boom, I'm going to assign everybody I do. Why? Because I care about them, because we know if they take the exam within 7 to 10 days of getting into licensing, it's an 83% pass fail rate. If they take more than 10 days, it drops down to 48%. Track the numbers. That's what the numbers are. That's over thousands of people that get into licensing. We know those numbers. So if I care about somebody, I'm always going to teach them 7 to 10 days, get into licensing. If you don't care about people, teach them just to get it whenever they want to. You with me? Because that is what you're doing. You're sending people to the wolves if you're giving them long time to get into licensing. Do that. Also, anybody you've got into licensing currently, or anybody you've got into pre-licensing course, get with them today and have them schedule their state exam. Get with them today and have them schedule their state exam, because people inherently, self-included right here, are procrastinators. And until we have something on our schedule, we're not going to do it, or we're not going to commit to it. It's the same reason I was in like 5 years of college in 7 different schools, and every one of my exams, I studied the night before, because it was finally up, right? Got a pizza, crammed in a lot of pizza and studied for it. And a lot of you in college, probably the same way. That's when you studied, was the night before exam, because finally you had it scheduled. So that's a nugget. That's a great nugget. Training. If you're going to train your new agents, the best way to train a new agent is you working, popping it on Zoom that you're making dials. How I trained my first batch of agents is they sat in my office and watched me make my dials. In other words, I didn't train them. I just did my work and I will let them. Now, the beautiful part is that was before we did Zoom or anything like that. Any of you can train any of your agents from all across the country. Just have them hop on a Zoom session with you and watch you dial. And hold them accountable. Say, I watch, or I'm going to do, you watch, and then you turn around and let them dial. Let them get too busy dialing. You with me? They can ask you questions from that right there. I wouldn't sit there and one thing I taught the agents when they were watching me dial, I said, I'm going to make my dials. Don't ask me any questions right now. You can save your questions for the end because you want to get in a certain rhythm, and you need to be setting the example of 35 to 40 dials an hour is the pace. Biggest thing you're doing when you're teaching people there is setting the pace for it. So that's a key, really key component. And also Jordan Gillum, Elijah Carujo, Jeffrey Miller, Joe Martinez, Val Zarn, if I forgot anybody's names, please forgive me, are all hosting Zoom sessions each and every week on our group meet. They can plug people into that. Utilize the system. Elijah Carujo. So take advantage of that. Another way I train my agents, I don't use myself as being the hero, and I don't encourage you. In other words, I'm going to plug them into the 12 o'clock Symmetry Financial call. I'm going to plug them in each week to the 1 o'clock Symmetry Financial call. In any other calls that they think they can get some, the new agent call, I'm going to utilize those as platforms to grow my business without me necessarily being involved in it. We already have a platform where you yourself can go in and grow your business to 100 agents strong in your first year if you will simply utilize the system. So I encourage you to utilize the system, plug people in. Audio training. One of the best advantages we all have is that we have thousands of hours of audio training on every topic that's ever been known for a new agent to run into here. Okay, I'll use this as an example. Jordan's my new agent. Jordan asked me a question. Hey, I'm not very good on the phone. Can you help me? Absolutely. Jordan, have you listened to that training by Sarah Pappas on mastering the phones? Have you listened to that? And my new agent says, well, no, I haven't. Well, here's what I'm going to assign you. I'm going to prescribe that to you. Listen to it for about an hour because it's about 45 minutes is how long it is. Take some notes on it. See if that fixes your issue. And if it doesn't, write down any other further questions you've got than that and give me a call afterwards. If it does, big thumbs up. You're on your way. You with me? Utilize the system, the trainings that are already here to duplicate yourself, not weight you down. One of the worst things I used to do is spend 45 minutes with Jordan, and she may or may not be listening to me. Y'all with me? And guess what? Now 2 people just wasted their time. Y'all with me? It's I'm telling you, it helps you a lot if you do that and do that duplication, because that's one of the things. So there, audio. So another way to help people is Jordan or Jeffrey. We could role play it here. Jeffrey, you probably deal with it now because you're building an organization. One of the things that when I got better at building this business and helping more people, helping the people that were taking action is here's my thing. Great question, Jeffrey. Here's where I found the answer. Yeah. And here's the reason you do that. Here's the reason you do that. It's way better because if I just give him the answer, who does he have to go to every time he has that same question? Well, he has to go to me. So I'm creating dependence on me.
Right. But in the beginning, I was calling you and you were doing the same thing to me, giving these audios. So guess what I do with my group now?
Right.
So it's that duplicatable factor too.
Right. What's duplicatable? Right? What's duplicatable? And we all have to ask ourselves, what is duplicatable? That's duplicatable. What's not is me being the hero and me saying, oh, what I really like to do is on the 3rd Saturday of each month, go out on a full moon, and that's the best time to dial. You know what I mean? And it's like when the full moon hits and it's the 3rd Saturday, round up the posse because I'm booking 35 dials that night. You know what I mean? It's just, it's duplicatable, right, folks? So just remember that. Great question, because remember, we're teaching people to fish, not giving them a fish, because then we teach them for a lifetime and feed them for a lifetime. Here's the thing, leaders, new builders, everyone, and for people that may be in this category, because I realized at one time I was in this category. Don't beat yourself up if you are. We've all been there. We've all talked a big game. Trust action. Anyone can say it. Everybody's fired up coming from conference. We're not looking for fired up. Fired up was the minimum requirement for you to be here. What we are looking for you to do is take action. Action is filling those boxes. You with me? Fired up. That's just part of it. You with me? It's the action we're looking for you to take, because action is what will get you the results in which you seek. And that's why we're saying it, because we want you to be successful here in whatever that is for you and your family. That's a key component of it. Trust action. I used to get so fired up about everybody I recruited because they'd all tell me they're taking over the world. And man, I'd be hugging everybody. I'd hug Tina and high five Bobby. Bobby'd be like, this is a great one, Chris. I got one on the line. It says it's going to be a millionaire. Great. They did 3 dials, ran 2 appointments and quit, right? We got to trust action. So trust action. So look at that, trust action. You have to. If you're not, you'll drive yourself back crazy. Here's the key, and this is going to be hard for some of y'all to swallow this. You're not helping people running appointments for them. It's tough. You're not. You're not helping people run appointments for them. I used to think I was, and I used to think, oh, I'm saving them. No. People are going to have to get their elbows dirty. They're going to have to run appointments and get a no. They're going to have to learn to handle it. And it's not a bad derogatory thing. You know how my sons learn how to ride a bike? They fall a few times. And if they don't fall, they're never going to learn how to ride a bike. I can't hold the bike forever. And they're never going to be good enough till I let it go. Let people go fail. If they'll run 15 appointments a week, they'll still write 5 applications a week. You with me? And you'll get better at it. So don't overthink where, oh, I've got to be everything to everybody. No. We already have a system that can be everything to everybody, not you. Don't worry, I've done it. I promise you I've made that mistake. I got that badge. And the last thing I'll leave you with, and we'll get off here, guys, when you're working with your people that you're in business with, ask questions, don't tell. I spent the first 5 years of my business here at Symmetry telling people what they needed to do. And I was doing it in good heart, great kindness, out of love. A lot of them hated me for it. I didn't realize it at the time. The best thing you can do is ask them questions. Best thing you can do is ask them questions. What and how questions, question their answers. It's the best thing you can do. You don't tell people, you ask them questions to guide them to the right spot. That's something that certainly has helped my career, helped me go less insane. And certainly resonate. Jeffrey, any of that you want to comment on, buddy, before we get off here?
No, it's just all great stuff. It's so key to building this. So no, I like the ask questions, don't tell. That's good.
Yeah, they got to arrive at the answer. If you give it to them, sometimes they don't like it too well. So let them arrive at the answer. But question their answers. You know, that's something. Question their answers. And that's good, right? So what and how questions will help you lead you there, and help your team lead them right way. So hope everybody's doing the Quilty Challenge. I know I've done it for a week. My body's already starting to change a little bit, so it's even making me grow a beard. I don't even know it's weird. Yeah, it's like yeah. Drink more water, Jordan. The beard just comes out, so it's just weird. So yeah, I don't see one on you. I think Jared maybe. No, Jared's not even growing one. Dang it. So you got the 12 o'clock call today, guys. I hope that was added value to you guys, because if you do it, you do it right. If you fill those boxes, if you meet that challenge, you'll be exactly where you want to be. And this thing's going to take off for you. It's going to be big time. And appreciate you guys. 12 o'clock call coming up today. And I know I've got a Zoom session with other people here in just a minute. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you, y'all. Bye.